Howdy, howdy, neighbors. This is DJ Davenport bringing you Access to Bluegrass, a 1-hour bluegrass show brought to you every week at this time by this station and Harper Run Communication Arts, a business-to-business communication. And by Caledine, the music place, a great place for musical instruments. And a grant from the Northern Indiana Bluegrass Music Association of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and its president, Mr. Jim Winger. We're so appreciative to those people. And a Mr. Jensen of Lansing, Michigan, for a fine donation that he sent to us the other day in the mail. We really appreciate that, Mr. Jensen. This gentleman called me about a month ago and asked if he could come and do another show for us. He's did 4 before, and he come back and did 4 more. He's written several hundred songs, and they've been recorded by all of the top artists. And he's a great, great entertainer. From Nashville, Tennessee, here is Randall Hylton. It's all yours, Randall.
The Cecil on the cement truck, and he worked hard every day. Cecil's wife was young and cute, she had time to play. She stayed home and kept the house, and a wealthy man named Jack would wait till Cecil went to work, then he'd drive up in his Cadillac. One day Cecil loaded his truck and started off down the road. That big high mixer was spinning around, turning that concrete load. He remembered that he had left his lunch sitting home in a paper sack. So he swung that loader to his own driveway and parked beside that Cadillac. He was getting his lunch from the kitchen when he heard a funny sound. He walked back and opened the bedroom door, and you can guess what he found. Smiling Jack didn't even put on his clothes. He went scrambling out the back. Cecil called his wife a dirty name and walked out to the Cadillac. He checked his load, and that wet concrete was just about ready to pour. He backed the truck up to the driver's side and opened that Cadillac door. Rolled down the window a little way, shut the door and walked on back. Then he pointed the chute of that cement truck right into that Cadillac. When the concrete reached the dashboard, that's when the tires all blew. When the concrete reached the rear view mirror, that's when he closed the chute. Cecil climbed back into his cement truck and never ever once looked back. Jack had to hire 3 wreckers and a crane to move that Cadillac. Now the moral of the story is you can get caught in the act. So don't leave any concrete evidence when you park your Cadillac. All right. True story there. That happened over in East Georgia. After I wrote the song and sang it, I found out it also happened in Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi, Ohio, and Texas. All right, let me do you a song now. This is a song about a UFO sighting. I wanted to write a song about a UFO sighting that was believable, you know? So this is on one of my albums. It's called The Widow of the Glade. In a shanty on the edge of Devil's Cove, where the black marshy water was always cold, I shook with fear and trembled at the stories she told. The widow of the glade that laid by Devil's Cove. She spoke about a fire in the sky, ghosts that roamed the water when the full moon was high. The townsfolk called her crazy, 'cause they never came to know the widow of the glade, that laid by Devil's Cove. One August night, I was down at Schaefer's Landing, casting my line neath a cloud-laden sky. A rumble shook the dock as a fiery ball of amber came whistling through the glade, barely more than treetop high. In the willows by the edge of Devil's Cove, I huddled in the darkness and viewed the scene below. A fiery ball of amber stood shimmering on the shore, not 30 yards away from the widow's shady door. Two figures in metallic clothes of white stepped out into the darkness and danced across the night. As a veil of smoke was lifted, I saw her on the shore, the widow of the glade, and they carried her aboard. Some say she died from a fall in Witch's Canyon. Others say she sank in the mire by Demon's Pond. I could tell my tale, but who would ever believe me? So the widow of the glade, and the mystery goes on. All right, Widow of the Glade. Let me switch over now to the other guitar and switch over to the other guitar now, and we'll do a song about modern day poor folks. This is one that Bluegrass Cardinals recorded a long time ago. I wrote it for them, and a friend of mine named Cadillac Holmes and I wrote this song. And it's called Country Poor and Country Proud. Mama sits and cries a lot lately. Papa, he don't say much anymore. Times are hard since we closed the mill down. Guess we're getting used to being poor. But there's fresh, hot coffee in the kitchen, and those biscuits and gravy sure smell good. Nothing looks as pretty as the sunshine when you're looking out the window at the woods. We may be poor, but we're proud, and we live in the best way we know how. We don't have much, but we don't look for pity. We're country poor and country proud. A stranger came out here from the city, come a-taking some hard luck photographs. I loaded up my shotgun and I warned him, mister, we don't need no help like that. I still live in the house that I was born in. It ain't much, but this old farm will get us by. All I want is a shade tree by my front porch, and to have me a tombstone when I die. We may be poor, but we're proud, and we live in the best way we know how. We don't have much, but we don't look for pity. We're country poor and country proud. Yes, we're country poor and country proud. Okay, country poor and country proud. On the same album, there's another song about home folks. This is another one that Cadillac Holmes and I collaborated on. It's his idea, and I sort of put the song together based on what he said. This tells a story about a TV show I'm sure you're familiar with. The name of this song is Mayberry. I'm going to try to whistle. I don't whistle very well. Let me wet my lips a little bit. See if I can whistle this. There's a place I love to visit each weekday on TV, a place where life is simple, good friends and family. They've never met a stranger there, and no one's in a hurry. And when I think of heaven, Lord, I always think of Mayberry. If I never get to heaven, Lord, just let me go to Mayberry with Andy and Barney, Opie and Aunt B. If I never get to heaven, Lord, just let me go to Mayberry. 'Cause something about Mayberry seems like heaven to me. You know, Lord, I've often wondered how heaven's going to be. Well, there'll be folks there like Goober, Thelma Lou, and Ernest T. Now, if guys like Otis Campbell don't make it up to glory, then maybe I'd be better off to just go down to Mayberry. If I never get to heaven, Lord, just let me go to Mayberry with Andy and Barney, Opie and Aunt B. If I never get to heaven, Lord, just let me go to Mayberry. 'Cause something about Mayberry seems like heaven to me. Mayberry, all right. Here's another song that's been real popular down through the years, and tells us, it's a sort of an ecological song. Talks about a coal mine up in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky, and a place called Paradise. And it was Paradise till they tore the land up, I guess. I've got this on an old all coal mining album, coal mining songs. Paradise. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky, where my parents were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered, so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lives? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train just hauled it away. Sometimes we'd wander on down the Green River to an abandoned old prison down by Adrie Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bombers is all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lives? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. The coal company came with the world's largest shovel, tortured the timber and stripped all the land. They dug for their coal till the land was forsaken, and wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. All right, Paradise, written by John Prine. Here's one about the same, written about the same general area of Kentucky, written by Merle Travis. Sort of a Merle Travis Kentucky anthem, I guess you would call this. Kentucky means paradise. I said Kentucky means paradise. Take a K and a E and a T-U and a C-K-Y that spells Kentucky, and it means paradise. Take a chicken and you kill it and you put it in the skillet and you fry it up a cool and brown. It's southern cooking, it's mighty nice. It don't cover a lot when you look on a map, but I was studying geography when I was sitting in my mammy's lap. Take a K and a E and a T-U and a C-K-Y that spells Kentucky, it means paradise. You take a K and an E and a T-U and a C-K-Y that spells Kentucky, it means paradise. Take a chicken and you kill it and you put it in the skillet and you fry it up a golden brown. That's southern cooking, that's mighty nice. It don't cover a lot when you look on the map, but I was studying geography when I was sitting in my mammy's lap. Take a K and an E and a T-U and a C-K-Y that spells Kentucky, it means paradise. I said Kentucky means paradise. Kentucky means paradise. All right. I'm going to try to play you a song here. This is a real pretty song. Came from an old movie back in the 1950s. Nobody remembers the movie because apparently the movie wasn't that great, but the song was. I want to try to play it for you. It's called Unchained Melody. Okay, Unchained Melody. Let's see if we can do a sort of a romantic kind of song here about the sea. This is called The Boatman. And I wrote this for John Duffy and the Seldom Scene back in 1980. Pitched it to him, and right before his death in 1996, he recorded it. The Boatman. When your mind starts to wander beyond the distant sunset, and your fantasy sets sail on a voyage through the sea, when your thoughts begin to flow like an ocean vessel, tossing to and fro in the misty sea breeze, do you ever think of me as your boatman? And when life leaves you stranded on an uncharted island, and troubles start to swell like breakers on the shore, and you stare at the tide and long to be rescued, waiting for that ship to carry you home board, do you ever think of me as your boatman? Do you ever think of me as your boatman? Should the winds of sorrow sweep over your emotions, if passion strong and deep should carry you off course, just remember my love is here to guide you safely through the night to any ocean port. If you ever think of me as your boatman. Okay, I don't know if I've got time for all this next one or not, but we will try it. It's called The Cheerleader from Central High. I think I'm in the wrong key too. Let's try it in this key. Here we go. Cheerleader from Central High. They led the hometown fans and they cheered for our team. Those 5 gorgeous girls thought I was a scream, 'cause I fumbled layups and I dribbled too slow. I even made a bucket at the other team's goal, yet they cheered me on our way to the state, while I warmed every bench in District 8. The 3rd string hero always sat beside the cheerleaders from Central High. Linda on the left, Rita on the right, Sally in the center, hey, fight, team, fight. Betty in the back court, Patty by the wall, maroon and gold ladies, and I love them all. Wow, Linda, what a gal. Rita, what a dream. Sally was sexy, hey, go big team. Betty was a beauty, and Patty was a prize. The cheerleaders from Central High. When the Rockets would go on a tournament trip, and the very back seat is where I would sit, with 5 lively lovelies on each side of me, and the bus seat was barely big enough for 3. Then on the way home, when the lights would go out, all the first string forwards would be tired and worn out, but I'd be making passes for my warm-up exercise with the screamers from Central High. Linda kissed a little, Rita kissed a lot, Sally did more than kiss. Rah, rah, rah. Betty had my class ring, Patty had a ball, maroon and gold ladies, and I loved them all. Now Linda is a lawyer, Rita teaches school, Sally moved to Shreveport. Boo, boo. Betty is my neighbor, and Patty is my wife, the cheerleaders from Central 2-4-6-8. Who do we appreciate? The cheerleaders from Central High. It's this set out with the instrumental, an old fiddle tune called Ragtime Andy.
And we do thank you today, Randall Hylton, and you sure do a wonderful job. I know that everybody's going to really appreciate having heard you today. Thank you again.